My name is Adam Robbins. I am doing this video for my philosophy class for Dr. Tokarov. The class is Philosophy of the American Enterprise. My assignment was to read some articles and watch some videos on from the John Templeton Foundation. And the question posed is, do free markets corrode moral character? And this is strictly just my opinion, and I do not believe that free markets corrode moral character. I think that free markets require moral character, and through free markets we can improve the quality of our lives. I think that our planned economy, basically, does corrode moral character, but that's not the subject of the topic. I think, like some examples of how they've corroded, they're immoral, are some of the bailouts with General Motors. Sugar has very high trade barriers, so that's not very moral for helping other domestic industry and us locally. And there is other government protection that is used, and I don't think that's very moral. I think that markets give people more resources, such as housing, clothes, food. And if you look at the world as a whole, under a free market, or what we have as examples of a free market, is you see increased production and increased cooperation among individuals and nations. And I really think that through free markets, we can improve the quality of our lives. And I don't see free markets as simply the absence of government, but I see it more as government in a limited role. If moral character is valued by a society, it can be in one's interest to practice and preach moral behavior. It really may seem to make little sense for a company to donate a share of its profits to charity, when the money could instead go to improving its competition. But we know that such giving can enhance a company's image in ways, and in more ways than it does to improve competitive positions. In a free market, your reputation is based basically on the popular opinion, and that perception can actually become a benefit, or like a material benefit for the companies. Individuals who rely on the goodwill of the neighbors to tend to act more morally. So also do the companies that depend on loyalty from employees and customers. They favor the consumer and the support of investors because of they must be moral. And the governments depend on the participation and tax revenue of their citizens. Though the relentless pursuit of a person's self-interest can corrupt the free market, it clearly creates more incentives to create moral behavior. Other systems lack these concrete incentives that are given. I don't think that the market economy is a perfect economy, but the flaws that stem from actions and motivations of its human participants rather than just the design of the free market. Experience has taught us that free market is closely associated with a free society, and in a free society, people are better able to act to improve their lives. Free societies afford people the opportunity to make their own decisions and their own political and social systems. They can make them more just. In general, the activities that support, they do support morality more than they corrode. We usually avoid addressing the conflicts between our market impulses and moral ideas more under a free market. I think that free markets tend to, through growing economies, pull poor people up into gainful employment, and it can reduce poverty. No economic system can enhance every aspect of moral character. All rely on, to some extent, on motives, and they can be morally questionable. Greed and envy are examples that can corrode or can create immoral actions. But they can also, the greed and envy can also be an economic stimulant in sense. For all the flaws that the free market can have, it is still the best, it is still more superior than all the other economic than the other economic markets that have been tried so far. We haven't found any that could potentially work better. So that's why I think free market is the best option. If the free market were more transparent, we could not avoid knowing the moral effects of our buying decisions, and we would have to either sacrifice some material comforts for the sake of our ideals, or we'd have to sacrifice those ideals in order to have some of the other comforts. That's why I think that the mechanism or the free market, the effects on buying, we understand better because it will affect us more personally. I guess in conclusion, I think free markets do not corrode moral character, although they can increase risk of certain moral problems. Free markets undoubtedly play an important role in promoting individual and people's virtue, and communities are required to help foster this individual personal virtue and the freedom that it allows. Like other aspects of a free society or a free market, free markets, they depend on the individual person's morality, and really that's the deciding factor to if the free market does or does not corrode moral character. But I guess I really think that free markets are the best option that we have. Thank you. That's all that I have.